Hi friends, I'm Swostika.
And I'm Ceona. Today we are going to unpack the idea of language as a code and language as a social practice and explore why these two perspectives are very important for supporting student learning in our classroom.
This topic matters because it shapes how we teach language, whether we see it as a set of rules and vocabulary to memorize or as a living tool for creating meaning, building relationships, and expressing identity.
According to Lidicode, Papadimitri, Secrano, and Collar 2003, language as a code is a structured system of grammar, vocabulary, and rules that can be learned and applied to produce correct language forms.
Simply, the code refers to building blocks of communication, syntax, morphology, and phonology.
For example, teaching students that the past tense of walk is walked and practicing it in isolated sentences is a language as a code activity.
On the other hand, according to Sohami 2007, language as social practice is the view that language is not just a fixed set of grammatical rules, but a dynamic resource people use to create meaning, negotiate identity, and participate in cultural and social life.
For example, class 2 maths lesson. Instead of just memorizing words like bigger, smaller, equal from the worksheet, students compare the towers of blocks and say things like, my tower is bigger than yours. These are equal. They are using the language in real interaction, not just repeating the rule.
When we focus only on language as code, students may become good at passing tests but struggle to use the language in real conversations.
When we add social practice perspective, students gain the skills to use language flexibly and confidently in authentic contexts, inside and outside the classroom. Here is a short story. In one of my class, I used to give grammar weekly tests. Students could identify the past tense correctly on the paper, but while speaking, they would rather say, yesterday I walked to school. One day I switched my method to role play, where they had to interview each other about what they did last weekend. Suddenly, they started using the past tense naturally. Even after doing mistakes, they were correcting each other. That's when I realized grammar rules stick better when imbibed in social interaction.
I saw the same thing in year 6 history lesson. At first, the students copied down the definition of colony in their books. They could repeat it but could not understand the meaning. Later, I set up a debate in the classroom and the class buzzed with discussion and the students started to using the terms naturally to build arguments and challenge each other. The language came alive once it was used in meaningful debate.
Same thing I observed in one of my science lesson. I noticed that my students could memorize the bigger words like evaporation, condensation. But when I asked them to explain what happened to water when it was boiling in the kettle, they just froze. Then I paired them in a group and explained them using the diagrams. Later, they were able to describe the terms of evaporation and condensation. The scientific terms suddenly started making sense to them.
Both approaches have value. Language as code provides accuracy, while language as social practice builds fluency, confidence, and cultural understanding.
As a teacher, our challenge is to blend both of them, teaching the rules but also creating opportunities for students to use those rules meaningfully. Thank you.
Thank you.